Hello, Steve Mills here, and today I'd like to talk to you about how to get to #1 on a specific phrase or word on LinkedIn. If you think about what LinkedIn is, it is essentially a large database. It's actually, as I speak, there are 100 million members on LinkedIn. That's 100 million people connected worldwide. And out of those 100 million, 68% of them regularly use a search feature on LinkedIn to search for a whole variety of things. And that search feature is up here in the top right hand corner. So clearly we can search for people, updates, jobs, companies, answers to questions, groups, etc., etc. And I'm going to talk to you today about how you can get yourself to #1 on a specific word or phrase. For example, if you were looking for someone like me, you might type in marketing advice, marketing consultant, marketing training, or maybe marketing support. Either way, I'd like to be found. I'd like to come up #1 on all those terms. However, on LinkedIn, you can't actually do that. But what you can do is to select one specific word or phrase, and using the system that I'm going to teach you, you can get yourself into the #1 position. So, for example, if you were looking for someone like me, let's say you decided to type in the word marketing advice. So you type in marketing advice because you're looking for someone to provide you with just that, marketing advice. If you look here now, you can see that I, Steve Mills, am #1 on LinkedIn, and there are currently 108,180 people with that as a search term on LinkedIn, and I'm #1. Now, I say that not to impress you, but to impress upon you the value of the system that I'm just about to teach you. So, the first thing you need to do is to determine what is your version of my keyword marketing advice. For example, if you were a solicitor, you might want the word solicitor, or you might want divorce lawyer, or you might want legal advice. You might want to be more specific. You might want, for example, solicitor London if you are based in London. So you need to decide. I can't tell you what your word is going to be, but you need to decide what your word or phrase is. Once you've done that, let's have a look at what to actually do to get yourself into that position. So the first thing you're going to do is to go over to the View Profile button on the left hand side so that you can see my profile. I'm going to explain to you a 5-step process that will enable you to get to #1. Now, quick question, does it always work? Well, not always, no. It works probably, I'd say, 90% of the time. 90% of the time you will be #1. When it doesn't work, it tends to be that you'll be #2 or #4 or #5, something like that. Now, one thing in all seriousness about this particular system, can I ask you not to tell everybody about it? Because if you do, then it will stop working. If there are thousands upon thousands of marketing people worldwide who know about the keyword marketing advice, I'm not going to be #1 on LinkedIn anymore because everybody's going to use the same system, and therefore it's no longer going to work. So, consider yourself privileged to be be made aware of this particular system. So let me go through what the system is. So the system is where you've got your profile here, the main part of it. You'll notice that my job title here is marketing advice. In other words, I'm using my phrase as my job title. My actual job title is Managing Director, But let's face it, nobody's going to go onto LinkedIn looking for someone to help with the marketing and type in marketing advice into here. Type in marketing director into here. They're going to type marketing advice, marketing support. So you need to put your keyword or phrase in this area here. The next thing to do is to think about your current role, and again you need to put your phrase into this area here. Step 3 is to add your keyword or phrase into your past role here. Step 4 is to add your key role or phrase into your summary, and step 5 is to do the same thing with your speciality. So let's go back up to here and I'll show you how to do it. What you need to do is go from view profile to edit profile. When you're in edit profile, you go and press the edit button here, and that will open up that particular section. You're then going to alter the word here, which is in my case is marketing advice. Obviously I don't want to do that. If I did, I'd just type it. You then go down here and press save, and that is saved, and you go through the system doing exactly that. So again, step 1 is to change this bit. Step 2 is to change your current job title. Step 3 is to change your past job title. Step 4 is to add your keyword to your summary, and step 5 is to add the keyword to specialities. And you do that obviously here, just altering the text once you've edited the button, and you'll find that then pretty instantly you'll get yourself hopefully into that number 1 position, certainly on the top 4 or 5, and that could be the top 4 or 5 out of 60-70,000 people. So even if it doesn't work quite as well for you, it's still a pretty good thing to do. And that's just about it. So take action as ever, and try and get yourself to number 1. And if it doesn't work, just go back over your steps and make sure that you've added all 5 keywords in exactly the same way. You've not got any typos in them, and you've added them all to each specific step. So that's about it. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you again soon.